We take water for granted every day. Each American uses an average of 88 gallons of water a day at home. The fact of the matter is that 39% of sub-Saharan Africa's population still does not have access to clean drinking water. By selling Nalgene's, we plan on raising money to help provide water for impoverished countries in sub-Saharan Africa.
Africa is the second largest continent in the world. Because of the size and location, there is a wide range of climates, vegetation, and terrain. Near the equator lies the band of tropical rainforest. Moving north and south are the continent's most populated region, the high plateau and savanna. Beyond the savannas lie the great African deserts. Africa's high plateaus and rivers hinder easy movement. While the mean annual rainfall figures are comparable to those of other continents, the evaporation rates are much higher. Because of the location, rainfall there is highly variable and extremely unreliable. Africa's lack of geographic luck, paired with crumbling infrastructure, has forced many people into poverty.
Currently, most of sub-Saharan Africa resembles the Stage 1 demographic pyramid, with 62% of the population under working age, a number that is only increasing. Women have 5.1 children on average, most of whom die before they reach 30. These demographics lead to almost half the population living on less than $1.25 per day.
In 1884, the Berlin Conference was held, creating a space where European countries could carve out Africa. The people were treated terribly and were restricted for many things. Then, because of the uprisings and riots in all of Africa, the Europeans dropped everything and left, leaving Africa with little and crumbling infrastructure. Then, in 1948, the British government ruling Africa imposed an apartheid, calling for the separate development of the different racial groups in South Africa. Although many believe that separation or segregation were the worst parts of the entire happening, closer examination shows that actually it was the malnutrition and laws on water played a bigger role. People were forcibly removed because they were living in wrong areas, and there was more readily available water in white areas and not black designated areas. This created a harsh living environment for those discriminated against. This led to about 15 million people without safe water supply and over 20 million without adequate sanitation services. In 1994, the apartheid ended, and again Africa was left with. As population increases, clean water to drink is quickly disappearing. This needs immediate attention because without water, no other crisis or world issue can be solved. At any given time, half of the world's hospital beds are occupied by patients suffering from diseases associated with the lack of access to clean water. The average woman walks 3.7 miles daily to obtain access to dirty water that she knows will eventually kill about 25% of her family. Because women spend so much time getting water, they are more likely to suffer from malaria, drop out of primary and secondary education, and are at a higher risk for injury, beatings, and rape. If action isn't taken, people will continue to suffer from lack of education, which damages future employment opportunities, leaving them stranded in poverty. They will also be forced to endure terrible waterborne illness. As 2001 Nobel Peace winner and Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan said, "We shall not finally defeat AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, or any of the other infectious diseases that plague the developing world until we have also won the battle for safe drinking water, sanitation, and basic health care. Without access to clean water, nothing else matters." By giving people easier access to clean water, they have infinitely more opportunity to get higher education and become employed, boosting them out of poverty because they aren't spending futile hours collecting dangerous water, and it reduces the risk of disease. Larger incomes can also help families raise their children healthily and treat infection with medication that was previously too expensive. By building wells in impoverished villages in sub-Saharan Africa, we can provide a sustainable source that will give the people living there quick access to clean water. Through partnerships with Nalgene, 50% of water bottle sales go directly to building wells. Buying just one water bottle provides water to around 28 people, so that means our entire class could provide water to 1,400 people. For $5, you will be receiving a 16-ounce Nalgene water bottle with our Water First logo on the front. Thank you for your time and purchases. And don't forget, providing clean water has extensive benefits beyond just hydration.